Hello and welcome to this week's episode where we're going to be digging into the AI features in P Distinction, and more specifically, we're going to be looking at the AI workout builder in the P Distinction software. Now, before we actually dig into that, I want to talk a little bit about AI as a whole within the fitness industry, specifically the online fitness industry. And I know some trainers are really anti-AI, and I think some are very much leaning into it. I think whichever way we look at this, one thing we have to accept that AI is going to be here forever. This is just the beginning of this AI journey, and lots of new developments are happening all the time. So we need to accept that this is going to be part and parcel of our industry. So that means burying your head in the sand thinking AI isn't right, AI is never going to take over, AI is never going to do what I do is a bit naive. You need to accept the fact that AI is already pretty good at doing what most basic personal trainers do. So when it comes to adapting and adjusting workouts to suit for people, when it comes to giving feedback and adapting those programs based on the data that clients enter, whether that's for nutrition, for workouts, whatever it is, AI can already do that quicker, faster, and better than most people. And that's because it has instant access to most up-to-date information, and it can work 24/7 without getting tired. It can always be there on call, and it can do it extremely cheaply. So what does that mean for personal trainers, and specifically what does it mean for online personal trainers? Well, I think the future is going to be quite clean cut. I think we're going to have AI trainers, and I think we're going to have online coaches. And there's a huge difference between personal training and online coaching. And I think if we want to be successful in the future and not have to compete with all the big guns, these companies that are throwing literally millions every month into fitness programs that are powered by AI, which is going to be very difficult for people to compete with, then we need to focus on the AI coaching side of things. And it's something we talk about a lot over at Peter Ninja, specifically in our academy. And I think that is something that you really need to start accepting is going to happen. And you need to start adapting your programs, adapting your approach to have more of a coaching element to it and be working specifically with the people that you actually want to go and work with. So that said, if that's the way AI is going, why am I showing you how an AI builder works? Well, the key thing with P Distinction compared to some other AI apps that are out there is that an AI app that a user uses means they input the information into it and the program adapts itself. Now, the problem you're going to have is if people start doing that with your apps and everything adapts based on AI and it's speaking to AI, it's going to start questioning why it's paying you the money when it can literally get the same service for free on most mobile devices, even now. So think what this is going to be like in the future. So the AI builder in P Distinction is different. This here is to aid you as a coach. And I think that's where AI is going to fit for the majority of coaches moving forward. It's going to be used as an aid to help you in your business. And the AI builder inside P Distinction is just that. It's to help you generate programs and workouts based on the data that's been sent to you using the most up-to-date information. And it's just a way of doing things quicker so you don't have to go and do it yourself. It's definitely not cheating. It's just using things efficiently. It's no different from having an assistant coach. But in order to make sure it is like having an assistant coach, you need to train that AI. You need to make sure you're giving it the right information. And I also think that's where a lot of trainers go wrong, especially when they're using the AI stuff in PT Distinction, is they don't actually know how to prompt it properly, how to actually generate things correctly so it can actually be used effectively for their clients. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you on this training video. So we're going to do this as a walkthrough. I'm going to show you the way we do this over at PT Ninja when we're doing our done for you service for people. And I'm going to show you how our clients use it with their clients in order to adapt things really quickly. Now, in order to go and do that, we're going to have to go and log into P Distinction software, which you're going to do in a second. I'm also going to give you a prompt sheet as well that you can use within the P Distinction AI Assistant, and I'll show you how to find that in just a second as well. We're also going to do some setup. So there's going to be a few things you need to have in place. Now, a lot of these things we have in place as part of our white label library over at PTD Ninja. So if you're a client of ours and you're watching this, you'll have all the stuff I'm about to show you in here already pre-done, ready for you to go. However, if you're new to this, if you're new to P Distinction, maybe you don't work with us over at PTD Ninja yet, then you'll have to build some of these things in advance. But the time it takes you to build them, this doesn't take much time at all, is going to save you so much time in the long run, so much time. So I'm going to break down those steps, get some of this pre-stuff built up, and then I'm going to show you exactly how you can really make the most of the AI builders in P Distinction. So without further ado, let's go and log into the software. So here we are in the P Distinction software. This is our test account that we use over at the Done For You service for P Distinction. And I'm going to break down a couple of things here. Now, before we look into the AI side of things, as I mentioned, there's going to be a little bit of prep to do. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just literally use the AI builder in the way that I'm going to show you in a minute. That's going to make it really quick and easy for you to do things. However, by having some of this pre-stuff in place is really going to take that to the next level. And that's one of the things we like to do at PT Ninja. I like to share information with you that's really going to take your skill set to that next level. So let's go and take a look at this. The first thing we're going to do is use the group features in PT Distinction. And we're going to set up a kind of bit of a program template, so to speak. But primarily what we're trying to do with this template is have the number of workouts and the scheduling already pre-set up. Now, I actually have a lot of these things built already. If I head over into the group section here, again, this is part of our white label library over at PT Distinction. I'll just go and type in workouts. You'll see there's quite a few different workout groups already pre-built inside here. I'll just open them all up so we can see them all. Now, inside here, they all do different things. I'll give you an example here. This is an automated workout. It's a muscle gain one. It's for beginners. It's a 5-day. It's based in the gym. It's over 3 phases and it lasts 12 weeks. So you can see the actual code that pops up on the screen then. So I'm going to open this up. And inside each one of these groups, if we go into the item section, we can see in the programs, we have our different workouts. I'll just change that A to Z so you can see it easier. You can see we have a number of program phases. We have weeks 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12. 12-week program, 3 phases. And you can see here, we're also drip feeding these out. And we're doing these by days after joining. So this is the number of days that have passed since a client has been added to this particular group. It's really important that you remember that bit, that it's this particular group, not when they sign up, not when they join you, not anything like that, or sign up to a package. It's when they're added to this particular group. That's the number of days that have passed since then. So here we can see when they get added to this group straight away, this program is visible for them. The first phase, the first weeks 1 to 4. Next up, we have 4 weeks after joining. So 4 weeks pass, and then this next phase appears for them. And after that, you can see here we have weeks 9 to 12, and we have this next phase then appears after 8 weeks after joining this particular group. And we can also see down here the scheduled. Each one of these is scheduled 20 times. So if we actually head over to the schedule, and we're going to click the tab here that says days after joining, so we can see the number of days that have passed. We can actually see that in here in this group. So you can see here we have a day 1, day 2 workout, a rest day, a day 4, day 5, day 6 workout. And we'll go through to the next week. We have a rest day, and day 8, 9, so on, rest day, so on, so on, so on. So these are repeating over and over again each week. So the first 4 weeks, we'll have the first few phases. Next 4 weeks, the next few phases, and so on, and so on. Now, we've also included a few other extra things in here. We have an instant message that goes out when the new phase has been delivered. So you can see here we have this instant message, just letting people know that a new workout has been added into the program, explaining where it is, and also gives them the opportunity and lets them know that the client can move it around to time and date that suits them. So you can actually build all this out in advance in the group. Now, that's all well and good. If you go in here, you have to build each one of these programs out for them one by one, schedule it up, and that's fine. And that's a lot of what we've got set up in our white label library, where you can literally just add a client to this group and that program runs. However, you might want it where you can adapt and adjust it for the individual client. And that's one of the beauties about P Distinction and the beauties about groups, is that when you add a group to a client, all that information in there gets copied over, the scheduling, the workouts, the content, all that stuff. And once it's in their account, it's copied, which means you can make edits, you can make tweaks, and it will only affect that individual. It won't affect anyone else in that group. So they're a bit like superpowered templates, really great feature. But what happens if you want to use the AI builder? So I think when a lot of people use the AI builder in P Distinction, what they generally do is they don't think about groups. What they do is they go straight to the client section, and then they head into the client area. And let's just go get the test client. We can open up just to demonstrate this. So we're going to get a test client in here. This is what I'll do. And what they tend to do is just go to add. They go into program. They'll go and put in a new program. And let's just call this one test. And then what they'll do is in this program builder, they will go straight to the AI builder and they'll go and run it like this. They might put a few little basic bits in here, like equipment they've got, some basic injuries, and just fill these details in, which is fine. You can do it that way. But then what you've got to do is once the workouts are built, you then got to go and schedule them out, put any messaging in, put any other content in. It can take time. So the other option is, do you build it out in groups first and save you some time there? Well, yes, you can definitely go and do that. But that's easy. I want to take this one step further. Remember, this is all about what we do at PT Ninja. It's about taking this software to its absolute limits and showing what is actually possible. So more than just saying, let's use the AI builder to build things out in advance, build templates, to build groups that are pre-built out, we can really use this to speed up this process. So let's assume you don't have any of these workout groups that's already done. So let's go and build a new workout group. So you're going to click the add button, and let's just call this our AI test workout group for this example. Nice and simple. And we're going to click add. So this group is going to be completely empty, and we're going to go into it. So again, if you're one of our members, you don't have to worry about this because you already got this stuff pre-built out, but let's assume we don't. So now what I'm going to do is click the add button. I'm just going to go and click programs. And you can either pull from your library for this. To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter what workout you put in for this example, but we can just do one from scratch. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to call this one, let's just keep it simple. Let's do weeks 1 to 4. So 1 to 4 in here. And I'm going to click save. So this is going to be our first program, our first phase for this particular client in here. So we've got a number of different workouts. Now I could just use the workout builder as standard for this, or I could just type in some exercises. It doesn't really matter. I think I'm just going to use the workout builder just to demonstrate you the basic way of using this for now. So I'm just going to click AI. And I'm going to go in here where you've got the different goals you can go for, the gender, the weight, number of sessions, and so on. So let's just keep everything the same here for simplicity. I'm just going to go for, I think it's muscle gain in there. It's female, 70 kilograms, 30. And we're going to do 3 workouts, 3 sessions per week. And let's just say the average experience for now. I'm not worried about any of these details and just hit generate. So that's the basic program builder, basic AI program builder. Put in some information and it then generates the workouts for you in maybe a minute or 2 or something like that. So you can do that relatively quickly in here. It doesn't take too long to do. Or of course, if you're doing this exercise, you can build it out yourself. Basically, all we're going to do here really is just create some workouts that we can schedule. It doesn't even matter what's in there. In fact, we can actually rename these to something else. So I'm actually going to call this weeks 1 to 4 at the top. I'm just going to go and save that as it is. You can see it's built it out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back over to, we'll close it out. I'm going to head back to the group over here. So you can see here the AI has actually put in all the variables, everything else we need. And we can see down here the program's put in. And then if we look in here, see there's the program that the AI has actually built based on what information I put in. So dead simple, like nothing overly complicated. And you see that one's visible. Now, again, you can do this and you can build this out. You can build out like a normal group, normal templates, just like I mentioned already. But again, for this example, it doesn't really matter. What we're actually bothered about in this particular setup, what we're trying to achieve now, is the scheduling and the drip feeding. So all I'm actually going to do is hit the 3 dots now. I'm going to hit copy and I'm just going to type client and group. I'm just going to type this group in just so I can copy this over, just like so. Hit next. I'm just going to call this one weeks 5 to 8 and put a little space in there. Again, doesn't really matter what workouts you've got in here. Just close that off for now. And then I'm going to copy another one out. So I'm going to hit copy. And then let's do a 12-week program again for this. So I'm going to do test group. That, hit next. And then I'm going to call this one weeks 9 to 12. Click save and copy. So I've copied those over there. Just going to give these a little refresh so they should all appear in the group. Go to items, programs, and there you go. You can see them all in here. The next thing I want to do is I want to drip feed these out. So at the moment, they're all visible straight away. I want these ones to appear, say, after 4 weeks. So I'm going to click 3 dots. I'm going to click settings. I'm going to visible after. I want this to be 4 weeks after someone joins this particular group. So just like so. And I'm going to do exactly the same here for the 9 to 12 one. This one's currently visible. So I'm going to hit the 3 dots. I'm going to hit settings. And I'm going to go and call this, do this 8 weeks after they sign up. Okay. So at the moment, we have 3 phases, 3 programs. Each one is 4 weeks long. And inside it, there's 3 workouts. So effectively what we're saying there is over weeks 1 to 4, you're going to do 3 workouts a week, repeated over the next 3 weeks. You can have in progressions and things like that as well if you want to. Then the next week, we're going to have, the next phase is going to be weeks 5 to 8, 3 workouts a week, spread over those weeks, so on. And then same again, weeks 9 to 12, 3 workouts per week, every week, spread out over that 4-week phase. So we've got everything there set up. Now, what we need to do is start scheduling these now. So we're going to take each one of these, we're going to add them to the schedule. So I'm going to hit 3 dots and we can go to scheduling progressions. And I'm just going to go down here. I'm going to click the first workout. I'm going to choose the days after joining option. And you can start this any day you want. I think just for simplicity, let's just do this at day 0 for now. So we'll add this in for day 0. And then I'm just going to do it at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to do repeats. I'm going to do custom because I like to have all the details in front of me so it gives me more options. And I'm just going to do this every week. And I'm going to do that for the next 4 weeks. That's simple. Drop that one in. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on here for the lower body one. But I'm going to change this so we're going to have a day's rest. So day 1's a rest day. Day 2 is a normal day. Next. And then we'll do it exactly the same again for the full body one. We're going to have a rest day on day 3. And we're going to go day 4 is going to be our main day. So now all those scheduled events, if we click over here, have appeared in there. We can actually see all the workouts are all scheduled in just like so. And if we actually come over here and go to our schedule, we go days after joining, we can actually see that on the schedule too. So we can just double check it, go for the first 4 weeks, make sure everything's all clear. And then we're going to go to the next week. We can see at day 28, there's no workouts on there yet. So the next phase we want to start scheduling from then. So I'm going to go back into items. I'm going to go weeks 5 to 8, hit the 3 dots, and we're going to go schedule progressions. And then I'm going to choose upper body. We're going to do 28, day 28, exactly the same here, custom, and then weekly. And of course, then I'm going to do our entry, so for 4 weeks, and click save. Now, of course, when you're doing all of this, if you've never done stuff in groups or things like this before, you can actually add in your progressions into this too. You can click on these 3 dots and add progressions in, so you can have the same workouts each week if you want, but you can also change the acute variable. So if you want to go from, say, 3 sets of 12 to 4 sets of 8 on the following week, you can do that quite easily without having to rebuild the workout out. Anyway, let's head back over here. So day 28 is going to be our first day, and then we're going to have a rest day and day 30. Put that in, and then we're going to do our last one here, which is going to be day 30, 31, 32. We're going to go and drop that in there, just like so. Now, I did actually notice I made a bit of a mistake then. I didn't actually skip and change this to lower body. So I think we've actually got, if I go onto here, quite a few upper body ones we have here. So we need to go and get rid of those. So I'm actually going to get rid of these upper body ones on here. Just going to skip every other day. So we don't need those ones on, and delete them. And I'm actually going to go back. I'm just going to reschedule those ones again to make sure I do it right. So I'm going to go lower body. So we are day 20, 29, 30. I'm going to drop that in and make sure that's right. So I'm just correcting a little mistake there. Too busy gassing away to you guys and not actually paying attention to what I'm doing. But you can see actually with PTD how quick and easy it is to edit and change things using this feature in here. It's a really useful tool. So now if I come back out of this, we head over to the schedule. We can check it again. Day 28, scheduled properly. You can see we have the right workouts now. Upper, oh, yeah, perfect. So even fixed my mistake that I made. And then let's just check it out. Yep, all the first 4 weeks are in. And then we're day 56 for the final phase. So I'm going to head over here and I'm going to go onto this one. I'm going to hit my progressions. Let's go upper body. I'm going to day, what day we actually said now. What day was it? 56. So let's go back onto here. Put in progressions. And then we're going to do 56. Upper body. And then we're going to do our custom 4 weeks every week. And let's drop that in. And then we'll do rest day 58. And then, oops, done the same mistake again. Let's fix that one. Again, too busy rushing and gassing away. Never mind. Easy to fix though. So 58 is in here. Let's go for that. And then we're going to do our 60. Make sure we're okay still. Make sure we're low body. Yep. And then repeat. And then we're going to do our full body workout, which we're going to do on 61's the rest day, so 62 is the next day. There you go. So we're going to get all these scheduled out. So there we go. We've got all those scheduled out. And again, once they're in, we can head over to schedule. We can see it all looks all right on here. And we can just check as well to make sure we're on the right days. Yeah, close enough. Fair enough. Okay, so we've got all those scheduled out now. So let's just go back to day 0. So we have our workout programs all scheduled out, ready to go. If we go into our items, we can see them all on here, drip feeding out. We haven't really built any workouts out yet or anything like that. What we're basically trying to do here is just build out the scheduling. So the progressions are in here, the scheduling's all in, and the drip feeding's all in. Because those are things that you can see take a little bit of time. It took us, a few minutes to go and do that whilst I was chatting away, even fixing some of the little mistakes I made as I went through. So let's say we go through this now, you have to do that every single time. It adds up, especially if you've got like 30, 40, 50, 60 clients. So you can do this in advance, and you can literally call this group a 3-week, 3 sessions per week over 3 phases over a 12-week program, something like that. Just so it's nice and clear what it is, so you can see what's actually happening here. So is it a 5-day week, a 4-day week, 3-day week? Is it over a 4-week phase? Is it over a 6-week phase? Whatever it is, you can build out different versions of this, and you'll find as you're coaching clients that you will have certain patterns in the things that you do. And one of the things we do with our Done For You service, when we look at your setup, we look at what things you do, we look at your style and your approach to working things out, and for coaching clients, we look for these patterns, and then we use those patterns to decide on what best structures are going to work better for your setup. And then we set those setup programs for you. And then once you're running with clients, we get your feedback, and then we adapt and adjust it to suit. And you can kind of do that same process yourself here. You can build out some of these things in advance, start testing out as you're running with your clients, and then see which ones work best for you. And you'll find that you'll probably have maybe like 5 or 6 program structures that you generally will use with probably 90% of your clients. So they're the ones you want to start setting up. Okay, so once you've got these things set up and you've got this group set up, the rest of it's actually pretty easy to do. So this is the hard work. That's all the hard work done. Let's actually use this now with a client. So I'm going to go over to clients. I'm going to go and find a test client that we can use. And let's just go for, we'll go for this AB one in here. And I'm just going to see if there's any workouts there. There are some workouts in here. They're all from a group. So let's just get rid of that group. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to remove that group, remove the content. Excellent. I'll get rid of that too. I don't really want that in there. Give us a little refresh. Perfect. So the only thing left in there is now our guide to our workouts. And for those of you that don't know, one of the things we do again over PT I've done for you services, we use a technique called group stacking. So it allows us to edit things quickly, as you saw there. Now, this bit here we have pre-built out, goes out in every client account. It says just a little video that walks them through exactly how to use the app workout area and everything like that. So I'm going to leave that in. But what I want to demonstrate now to you is how to use that group with the AI. So we know that group that we've set up is going to be 3 sessions per week, scheduled out every week over a 4-week period. So that's going to be the first phase, the first program. And then after that 4 weeks, another program is drip fed out automatically, which will be another 4 weeks with 3 workouts per week scheduled out over that 4-week period. And then finally, after that's done, a final 4-week period, which again will be in its own program, will have 3 workouts in it, same workouts again scheduled every single week over that 4-week period. So we know that's what's been set up. What's not right in there, obviously, are the workouts. The workouts are not customized in the slightest for the client. So the first thing we want to go and do now is go and take that workout group and add it into this client. So I'm going to go to the group section. We're going to use this group stacking technique that I mentioned a minute ago, and I'm just going to type this one in. So I could, as you can see here, here are the ones I made earlier, 3-day, 3 phases, 12 weeks, and so on. But let's just use the test AI group that we created. So I'm going to take that, I'm just going to drop that in now. So it goes straight in for our client. And that's going to copy this into the account. You can see it's now been added in. And if I give that a little refresh, we will see everything's dropped in and we'll have all the scheduling in the client's account. There you go. You see it's drip feeding out. It's figured out the dates now based for that client and all the scheduling is ready for the client in there. So that's all in. Now we need to go and edit these workouts. So how do we go and do that? Well, we're going to use 2 AI features in PT Distinction. The first one is going to be the AI Assistant. Now, to be fair, you could actually use any AI assistant for this. You could use ChatGPT, you could use Gemini, you could use Claude. There's loads of different ones you could use for this if you want to. But again, I just like to try and keep everything in the software. So we're going to use the AI assistant in the PT Distinction. And to make life easier, I put together a prompt. So if you remember at the start of this, I mentioned about how AI is working with trainers and that I think one of the biggest reason people are scared of it is because they don't understand how to use it properly. And a lot of this comes down to the lack of detailed prompts. I don't think many people know how to use prompts properly. So in order to make life easier, I've actually created a document that anybody who's watching this can have. If you just type AI into the comments, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook group, whatever it is, just put AI into the comments and I'll send you this document through. And in here, it has a master prompt. And if you've never prompted for AI before, you probably look at this thinking that is one long prompt because this is all just one prompt. But by giving the details to it, by using prompts properly, this is where you're going to get the best outcome, the best output of information. Like anything, the better, the more quality stuff you put in, the more quality stuff you get out of it. It's like the same for everything. So we're going to take this prompt here, and this is going to be your builder prompt. You don't have to edit anything yet. So you're going to take all this, copy it all right down to this bottom line. And once you've got your copy, you're going to head over into your AI assistant in PT Distinction, and you're going to go and paste that in. So into this box here, and then hit return or hit the send button. It's going to send the message off to PT Distinction AI Assistant. It's going to have a think. It's going to do its thing in the background. It's obviously a big prompt, so it might take a minute or two to do its thing. And it should come back saying, yes, I understand. And it should ask you a bunch of questions. And it should give you the questions that I've actually mentioned on this prompt, which it has done. So it's asking for things like age and gender, primary goals, all those kind of things. So ideally, if you've onboarded your client, you should know this information about them. Now, you don't have to put this much detail into it if you don't want to. If you want to put less details in, you can give it less information. Just give it what information you have or what you prefer to give to this particular AI. So again, to save a little bit of time, I've actually got some of these pre-written out for this client. So I'm going to look at doing a program for a 38-year-old male, build lean muscle, improve overall strength, enhance mobility and conditioning. They've got an intermediate training level. They've got like a few limitations, like but nothing major. Equipment available. They're in the gym. I want 3 sessions per week, 60 minutes a session. It's a hybrid style approach to strength and hypertrophy with some functional conditioning. And I want to focus on efficient, structured sessions that balance the pull, push, lower body work using simple progression methods on load and volume increases, and avoid any unnecessary complexity. So keeping it really realistic and coachable for online delivery. And again, another big thing, a big mistake I see some online coaches doing is overcomplicating things and changing things constantly for clients because they want it to be fun. The thing is about that is every time you change something, the client has to learn something. And when a client has to learn something, it slows down the session and everything takes twice as long. So the idea here is you want to have simplicity and try and keep them doing the same kind of things over and over again. Yeah, change the variables, mix things up a little bit, but you want to keep most things quite simple and easy. So let's take this information that's already done. I'm going to copy it all. You can see at the bottom as well, I put some notes about progression in there too. Again, it's asked about that. It's going to ask you about progressions. And this is because we need to have context. Because as we're building this stuff out, we need to make sure our AI understands what's happened before and what's happened next, just like you would do if you had an assistant coach. So we need to make sure we put this information in. So I've actually put some context in there saying this is going to be phase 1 of 3. The goal is to rebuild foundational strength and improve movement quality before progressing for heavier loads and higher intensity in later phases. Now, the more you do this, the quicker this stuff will become a lot easier. And in fact, I can show you ways in maybe another video around how you can actually take information from your forms, again, using AI prompts within the AI assistant to actually summarize all the onboarding to give you this information instantly. So I can show you how to do that, but we'll do that in another video. So make sure you check it out when it goes live. Okay, so let's head over here. I'm going to take that information. I'm going to go and pop it in and hit return. So now what it's going to do is going to take all that information, have a little think, and it's going to pump out a prompt that we can use in the AI builder. So if we give this maybe a second or two to do it, it should pump it out. And again, you don't just have to use this. If you've got maybe a pro version of ChatGPT that you've done a lot of work and stuff in the past to help you with building your business out or whatever, use that because it'll understand your coaching approach. It'll understand a bit more about you. But you don't necessarily need to. You can do this in here. It's completely fine to go and do it inside the Peter Distinction AI system. So we can see here it's pumped out what we need to do. So I'm going to go down here. You can see here this line. That's where the prompt kind of finishes. So we're going to take this prompt, follow it right up to the title, which is there. So we can see it's the system role. So we're going to copy that. So now we've got that copied. We can actually head into our first week phase here. So weeks 1 to 4. We can hit the 3 dots and then we can go and click edit. So now we're in here. We can go up to the AI builder and you can see we've got this stuff set up already. Click AI. Now we want to make sure we fill these first details in. So we know with this particular client here, we're looking at some body composition. We know it's male. We know the body weight. We know the age was 38. So let's put that in here as well, just so it all matches up, makes life a bit easier. We know it's going to be 3 sessions per week, 3 sessions total with 3 weekly sessions. And we know they are kind of intermediate. So let's go for average in terms of experience. Now, it's really important at this stage, if you're going to use this group approach I mentioned in here, that the number of workouts and weekly sessions you put in here matches the number of workouts and weekly sessions that you pre-built out in that group. Because it's those 2 things matching that's going to keep all the scheduling the same. If you choose a different number of workouts and weekly sessions, your scheduling might be off slightly. You'll have to do a little bit more work just to schedule the extra workouts in. So it's always a good idea in advance, as I mentioned, to build out those different structures in those groups. Again, it doesn't matter what workout programs you put in them because we're going to use AI to adapt them. But what is important is how they drip feed out and also how you've scheduled them. So let's say 3 sessions per week, 5 sessions per week, whatever it is. I say over at PT Ninja, we generally do a 3 session, 4 session, and 5 sessions per week. And we do 4-week phases and 6-week phases over a 12-week program or 16-week program. And then it gives you options then to adapt and adjust stuff quite easily and quickly. So now we've done that. If you have got any injuries for this client, then definitely put those extra injuries and details in here. But what we're going to focus on is this bit where it says specify any other details. And that is where you're going to put the prompt that you've just copied from there. So we're going to go and paste that in so you can see all that detail from those prompts is now in. So this might take a little bit longer because we're giving it a lot of information. And then we're going to go and hit generate. So what's going to happen is now the AI builder is going to go in the background. It's going to start generating this workout for this particular client based on the information we've given it, based on that prompt. Because we've prepared the AI assistant, it's pumped out a prompt based on the information that we've given it. And then we've used that prompt to use it inside here to build this out. And we've already got all the scheduling done. We've already got all the drip feeding done because we built that out in a group first. So we're still using this group stacking technique in PT Distinction, but we're powering it up with the AI features in here. So this can sometimes take a few minutes to go and build this stuff out. It just depends on the complexity of the program, what information you've given it, and so on. So it might take a minute or 2 to go and do that. But once it's done, it should pump out a 3 workout program, which you can see here. So it's put out some program information in. So at this stage here, you can change view. You can have a look at it and make sure you're happy with it all. So again, with this, I generally have a look at it, and then you'll see it's giving it a different name at the top. I like to try and keep the names consistent. So normally what I do here is I go on here and I change that into weeks 1 to 4, whatever I want it to be, just so it's nice and clear. Make sure I'm happy with these names here. Make sure I'm happy with the workouts. If I want to make any changes, I can do that. I can go in here. I can swap the exercises out. I can change the acute variables if I want to. So I want to change the sets and reps. I can change all those for the exercises too, really quite quickly and easily in here. I can also add in some more bits. So again, over at PT Ninja, we have something called program resources, and all our workout programs have these in. So this allows us to do a pre-workout assessment and a post-workout assessment. So I like to add those things in. So normally when I'm doing that, I'll click on my 3 dots here. I'll click from templates, and we have something called program resources. And then we'll drop in here pre-post-out workout questionnaires. And I'll drop a pre-workout questionnaire and put it in. And then normally what I'll do is I'll just copy this, and then I'll just go and paste this into the other sections. Now, again, you don't have to do this, but I just want to give this an example of just how quickly, when you have the right systems and processes in place, you can easily start adapting things. And again, you can just drag this into whatever position you want it to be in here. So I'll just pull all these up. So up at the top, just like so. And then again, I can put post-workout questionnaire in here. Again, I just like to just demonstrate the possibilities that are out there for you. That's what a lot of these videos are all about. It's about taking these features inside PT Distinction, which I still believe PT Distinction is one of the most powerful, flexible softwares out there, and just show you really the different things you can do with a little bit of creativity. So again, here, I'm going to use these program resources and just drop these different ones in, just so we've got them all in the post-workout questionnaire. And again, if I wanted to, again, adding some clarity for my client, if they maybe, I don't know, you want to use RPE, for example. So maybe your prompt is told to use RPE as a way of doing progressions for those individual clients. You could add some more information around that. So for example, in our program resources, if I go from templates, program resources, workout information, maybe we're going to use like reps in reserve, for example. Maybe that's what we want to use. So I can drop that in, and I can actually drag that up to the top after the pre-workout questionnaire, and just so that our client can actually understand how to do all that information, to actually move that a bit further up to the top. So again, you can do quite a few different things here if you want to. Now, once you're happy with it, or you made any tweaks and changes you want to do, just hit Save Program. And you'll notice the scheduling stayed the same. So basically what it's done is just taken the existing workout structure and replaced it. So all the drip feeding is the same, all the scheduling is still the same. All it's done is just create a custom version of that for that client. So let's just come out of this now. I'm going to go back into the main one. And then we can just repeat the process now for the next phase. So down here, we're going to do phase 5 to 8. And all we can do is simply go onto this, go back to our assistant. We'll have all the previous information. And you can just simply ask it in here. That's great. Got to be nice because, it's AI. That's great. Can you create the next phase, weeks 5 to 8, please? Always got to say please, because, one day these guys might take over. So we're going to put that in, and then we're going to send this off. It's going to do its thing. It's going to have a think, and it's going to create the next phase prompt for us on here. Now, I've been quite general on there. Again, it's probably better to put a bit more information on, again, saying something like, can you create the prompt for the next phase and so on. And basically what it'll do is it'll pump out that information at the bottom. But once it took a minute to see it, again, you can use any AI for this. You don't necessarily have to use the AI assistant in PTD for it, but you can, you can use any kind of AI system you want for it. And then once you've actually got your prompt pumped out, which you can probably done in a second or two, we can then take that. And then what we can do is we can actually do the next part of this program. So here's the next one. Once we've got it, we can then copy that all over. And then we can come back out of here. We can head back into here, hit the 3 dots, hit edit. It's going to take us into the next phase. And then what we're going to do on here, you can see we've got the dates and everything set up at the top. And we just do exactly the same process. We go in here, we then change all these to suit. So whatever it's going to be again, pour the information in, make sure these match up, put the prompt in, hit generate, and then away we go from there. And then it'll go and do its thing in the background. And again, all we're going to do is make any tweaks and changes that we need to, and job done. We've got this program built out. So very, very quickly, using the mix of these workout groups that are pre-built out with the scheduling and drip feeding, and the prompts and the AI features such as the AI assistant and the AI builder, we can very, very quickly start to generate and create custom programs for our clients. And then you've still got that coaching element where you can literally go in and make any tweaks and adjustments to it. As I demonstrated, you can pull from different templates and pull those in. You use different program resources and pull those in. You can swap out exercises, you can change the acute variables, you can make any tweaks that you want. So all we're doing here really as coaches is leveraging AI to save us a lot of time. It's doing all the legwork. So I think as long as you have this AI used properly with those prompts, and as long as you have the right systems in place in your PT Distinction account, then this process is going to become very, very quick for coaching clients. And you could easily go and handle 50, 60 clients quite easily per week, completely customizing programs in literally just 5 to 10 minutes per client per week, including doing your check-ins. And again, in other videos, I'll do a video just to cover how you can actually do the onboarding using the AI features in PT Distinction, also how you can do check-ins again using it. And it's all just about having the right prompts. And once again, if you do need access to the prompts I've just created for this, then please feel free just to comment AI below, and I'll send you a direct copy of that Google document with the prompts on there for you to go and use and go and give this a go. Now, if you're giving this a go, let us know how you got on with it. Let us know if you found it easy. Let us know if you've got kind of got used to it and some of the cool workouts and stuff you've been pulling out for it, and see if that's actually really been speeding up things for your time coaching clients. As always, if you've got any questions, please do let us know in the comments wherever you're watching this. And thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. For those of you that are watching and thinking about getting some extra help and support when it comes to building the systems and creating a successful online fitness business using PT Distinction, then definitely come and get in touch. Over at PT Ninja, we specialize in helping you build, launch, and grow a successful online fitness business. And we do that mainly through our Done For You service and our academy, where we show you not only how to run a business online, but how to market, how to sell, how to create all the systems for it. And whilst you're learning all that, we actually go and build those systems for you in the background, creating everything in your PT Distinction account, integrating everything to your website, building out your site if you need to, along with your sales pages, all the integrations, all the sales copy, help you with your branding. You basically get a ready to go system that you can go and use, all completely plug and play, and all adapted to suit your market, your niche, and your style and approach of coaching. And whilst we're doing that, you'll learn exactly how to go market, sell it, and even coach online. So if you want to find out more about that, then head over to ptninja.com, or feel free to get in touch with me directly. You can do that through any of the different social media channels, or it's through Facebook, Instagram, the two favorite ones. Or of course, you can drop me an email at ash@ptninja.com, and we can have a chat and see if it's something we can actually help you with. Anyway, that's it from me on this week's video. Any questions, please do let us know. Thank you once again. If you're watching on YouTube, please do consider subscribing and putting a little bell on, so you can get all the updates from us, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.